What's the worst you've ever been injured?
Oh.
When you got pulled off the balcony.
Me and Vic Grimes.
Marlena hurt your heart?
No. Me and Vic Grimes, me and Vic Grimes one night, we did a spot. And we was on pay-per-view, and we went up. It wasn't but like 18 feet. So we went up, and I was like,
is it right here?
Here it is.
No, this is the one where I threw him.
This is when you.
Oh yeah, this is. We should just put this on as background music anyway, because it is pretty great. You told this story last time.
Yeah, this is the one where I threw him.
You were trying to kill him. You specified.
This is the one where you said he like tried to bail.
No,
like he didn't
this is the retaliation to that.
This was payback for what he did to me on the match that we had a few years before this.
That's the one I was thinking of when
he was okay on this match. I was supposed to push him a little bit through some tables, but when we got up there, he didn't know that I had bought a stun gun. so I started tasing him with the stun gun. And I did it. Now that's great. I did it about 6 times in his chest and in his neck. And where I was supposed to push him a little bit, I pushed that motherfucker a lot of bit, and he went over the tables and hit the fucking ring ropes and bounced back in the ring, and he broke his femur.
Yeah. Jeez. But if he didn't hit those ring ropes, he might have just fucking, that's it.
If I would have pushed him a little harder, he would have hit the goddamn floor.
Is that your biggest regret in life?
I didn't regret it.
No, I'm saying not pushing him a little further.
Yeah, I want the motherfucker to die. And see right here, you can see where I got the stun gun, and I'm shocking his ass like right now.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And he dropped.
God.
And he dropped. And he was in that. Now understand something. We 40 feet in the air. He's like, Jack, I can't feel my legs. I said, you ain't gonna need your fucking legs where you going. And I took it. Right now, I'm just like, I'm baking his ass. I was cooking that motherfucker with that stun gun.
Where we're going, you don't need roads.
I was fucking frying. I was fucking frying that motherfucker with that stun gun. And I picked him up. I said, hold on, bro. You about to take a landing. And I threw that motherfucker 40 feet.
Did you bring a stun gun?
Oh, my God.
He didn't hit those ropes.
He broke his femur?
He broke his femur.
You know, and a much more also hardcore story, Mike over there had to wear a halo from staring at a computer screen for a couple of months. Yeah. So, you know, everyone's got their own work injuries.
I was up top, and it took me a minute to get down. Like I said, it was 40 feet in the goddamn air.
Oh, my God.
And I climbed down. I slid in the ring and went right on. I got right on top of him. I said, now we even, you motherfucker.
Wow.
Well, look at it slingshots him back into the ring. That
I mean, that.
I'm not gonna lie. When you say you're even, you might be up a few.
When they talk about people like you know, get into like MMA or professional fighting about like you have to like have something, you have to disconnect from like just your own fear to like get in there and do something like that. That's a whole other level. Because just, I mean, saying I'm gonna go up 40 feet, he knew he was going down at one point.
Right.
Either way.
But the thing was, he was supposed to trust me. Okay. His life was put in my fucking hands at that point. He was supposed to trust me. I was supposed to take care of him.
Yeah.
But I had a fall in my mind that we had done a few years ago where that motherfucker fell on me and I cracked my skull.
Is that the worst you had ever been?
So you said brain fluid.
I had
right?
brain fluid coming out my fucking nose, and I couldn't see for 6 goddamn months after that.
And some cocaine.
And I had been snorting coke that night too. So I was all fucked up, you know what I mean? But the thing that got me is not that I got hurt. That wasn't the part that got me. The part that got me was he took credit for it.
Like he was
bragging around the scene.
That's where I had a problem with it at. Because see, the whole time when I went up there with him, I was like, okay, we gotta go. He said, Jack, I can't do it, it's too high. And this is the conversation we having. I said, motherfucker, we on
in the match.
Yeah. We was up on 18 feet in the air. I said, motherfucker, we on pay-per-view, let's go. He said, Jack, I can't do this too high. I said, on 3. 1, 3. And I snatched him. When I snatched him, he did this fucking monkey flip, and it put his back up against my head. It drove my head to the floor, and I heard a crack. So I'm on the floor having a fucking seizure now. I'm having a fucking brain seizure. I'm on the floor just seizing the fuck out. You know what I mean? So the ambulance come, they take me to the hospital. I'm in the hospital for like a week. And then my boy from Philly, he came to get me, and I stayed in his basement for like a month because wouldn't nobody, my sorry ass fucking mama wouldn't come and get me from Atlanta, that fucking bitch. So she let me stay up in the, and
That's it.
Yeah, that's it right there. So she left me staying up in my boy's house. So him and his mom, that's where we fucking got up there, and he didn't want to come, and that's where he landed on me.
Ooh, fuck me, dude.
Right in my fucking head, you know what I mean? So my buddy, he came to get me from fucking Connecticut, and I stayed in his house for like a month. I stayed in the basement.
You couldn't see.
I couldn't see shit at that time. I was blind in fucking both eyes. My sorry.
Did you know you were gonna see again at one point, or you?
Well, what they tell you is when you got nerve damage, you have to let it heal itself. So don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do none of that shit, and it'll heal itself. So
you did not listen. Let me guess.
No, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything.
I couldn't see to do shit. I couldn't go nowhere.
But if you could see, you would have found those.
Snorting like a motherfucker, but I couldn't go nowhere. So I even snort my goddamn brains out. But I stayed at my boy's house for like a month and a half in his basement. He called my mom. That bitch wouldn't come get me. So I had to stay at his house. So finally, I went back to Atlanta and slept in my boy's house for 3 or 4 months. And I was going back and forth to the doctor. And they said, your vision might come back. We're not sure. So over a period of time, it started to come back in my left eye. But it didn't come back in my right eye. So right now, I got 5% vision in my right eye.
Right now.
Right now. So I can't see shit out my right eye.
So you don't have to watch this fucking ugly head right here.
I can
just been ignoring it.
Like I said, from this point on, I can't see really shit over here unless it's with this eye. My right eye, I can't see shit out of. So the vision never came back in my right eye.
That's from that incident. Wow.
Right. So the thing was, Vic, the problem I had with Vic, he went and took credit for it. He's like, yeah, I hurt New Jack. I put New Jack out. Bitch, no, you didn't.
He flipped and fell.
Right. You know what I mean? You did a fucking monkey flip and landed on top of me, but you didn't put me no fucking where. I'm like, but Payback's a motherfucker. So I went out to XPW, which is in California, which is where he was wrestling at the time. And I said, I'll work a program with you. And I let him do shit to me to build up to that point. We did a match one night where I was up on a goddamn platform. It was 35 feet in the air. I let Vic push me off of that fucking platform, and I went through a table, wasn't nobody on it. I let him hit me in the head with a guitar. And I was just waiting. I'm like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. I'm gonna get it.
That is the whitest move in pro wrestling is hitting somebody with an acoustic guitar.
Right. You know what I mean? So I played up to it, and I let him get me a couple of times, and they said, Jack, we got this scaffold match we want to do. You and Vic. And I said, they said, one of y'all gets thrown off the scaffold. I said, no, ain't one of us getting thrown off. Vic ass is getting thrown off. I said, fuck that. I'm throwing his ass off.
Parentheses, and I'm gonna taser him for a while.
Yes. So what we did was when we left the hotel that morning, going to the show, I saw a pawn shop. I told my driver, I said, stop at the pawn shop. I said, I want to see they got stun guns.
Trying to find an acoustic guitar to hit him with.
I was looking for a stun gun. So I went there and found a stun gun, and it said on the goddamn box, 50,000 watts. Taser motherfucker, he is down.
Yeah, I don't.
So the whole night I had that shit in my pocket. I didn't tell nobody shit. The only person who knew was my driver. He was done. I told him, I said, you tell somebody, I'll kill you.
Threatened his life.
Yeah. He was like, I ain't gonna tell nobody shit, Jay. Fuck that shit. So I didn't tell nobody. And when they knew was when we was 40 feet in the fucking air, where it was too late to turn back at that point. And I shocked that motherfucker. I was cooking him.
Have you been tased before?
Yeah.
Does it really hurt?
Yeah.
Because we had a taser. I feel like it did. If somebody came in, I feel like I'd have a better chance in a fight.
We were tasing our
No. Take it back. I got tased, not stun gun.
Okay.
A taser is when
The prongs go into you.
right. I got that happened to me.
And that will fuck you up.
The stun gun, that's not. I didn't get that, but I held it on his ass so long.
It'll hurt.
That I knew he wasn't gonna get up.
Yeah.
And when he started begging me, Jack, I can't feel my legs. I said, you ain't gonna need them.
You're gonna have wings where you're
I'm about
going,
to send
buddy.
you somewhere you ain't gonna need no
You're
fucking.
gonna give a sweet talk. He goes, buddy, it doesn't matter because you're going to a better place where no one needs legs. You're gonna have all the legs in the world, pal.
Bro, I threw that motherfucker. I threw him, and when he hit the goddamn floor, I waited. I crawled down I got down off the fucking scaffold. I went over there and I slid right up on him. I said, now we even, motherfucker. And I left.
You should have Macho Man elbowed him from the scaffold. You know what? Coming in hot.